I think that's it. I think we're live. Yes, we are live. Okay. There are people there.
Morning.
Good morning. Oh, man, everything turned pink all of a sudden. Good morning, everybody. I trust we are seen and heard. And it's a great and glorious day. You're doing okay. So we are working through some tech issues here. Good morning on that, and that's a great way to start the day. And as you can see, one of us has showered and ready, and the other one has wrestled with Facebook and Ecamm all morning. So
That's good.
Good. I am. I brushed my teeth, which is a nice start. Yeah,
that helps.
Yep, but I am literally. I have not even cleaned my glasses this morning, so, I'll wait till you're ready, and then I'll clean them. So if you're looking for us on Facebook, Facebook decided we weren't coming today, but now it looks like we're sharing, so we're on Facebook there. Good morning, Pop. Good morning to Dan. Good morning, wherever you are. Let us know where you are and greet us this morning. This podcast, the original vision was Connie and I would get out of bed, not do any of our morning stuff, not do any of our morning greetings or blessings or anything like that, and then we would just go in our robes or in our pajamas or whatever. And then we thought, well, that's kind of crazy. We'll shower, we'll do all this stuff. And today the prophecy came true today. I ran out of here to run and shower and all that stuff, and I looked at the time, and I can't tell you how long, starting and restarting and refreshing. So if you're hopefully finding us on YouTube and you're able to locate us, and if you know anybody on Facebook, or if you want to share this link on Facebook and let people know, hey, we're over here, that would be really great. But we're working through and we're sorting it out. So I'm going to let you talk for a minute, and I'm going to clean my glasses because I haven't even had a chance to do that. I can barely see anything.
Well, good morning, everyone. We are here. We are live. We are partly showered.
50%.
I hate when the tech just doesn't cooperate with you, because I know you work so hard to get everything set and make sure it goes. Not that I don't take, our the things that we do over or online seriously, but he is the tech guru or tech. I don't know if you're a guru.
If I was a guru, we wouldn't be having these issues.
Maybe you're just the tech department.
I am that. Yeah.
You're the tech department, and it all falls to you. And I ask what I can do to help, and that's kind of pointless. But I know you take it so seriously, and you work so hard on it that when it just falls through, that it. Blasted Blunion.
Yeah, thank you.
So hopefully people can hear us.
Yeah, I think so. Good morning. God morning from Florida. Yes, good morning from Indianapolis. Where are you? Let us know where you're at today. It's good morning to all of you.
I was going to say, take a breath.
I need to.
I need to. I'm going to drink my coffee.
Okay.
Coffee with her.
Her, yeah.
So, coffee. Whoa. Coffee with her.
What's in your coffee? Okay, so we can't goof off all morning. I guess people are leaving now. They're like, my gosh, this guy's in his underwear. Well, you only wish.
I wish.
Yeah, you wish. So it is Coffee with Her, and we are here live, and this is our podcast vision, our podcast, I wouldn't say dream, but this really is what we've been trying to get to. And I was talking to somebody yesterday. Good morning in California. My God, up early. What's the O stand for? Oh my God, it's early. Who were we talking to? Who was I talking to yesterday? How was I not? Oh, I was in a counseling session yesterday. That's where it was. That, my background, my purpose, calling, I don't even know what to call it. Don't ever bring out anything over the pulpit to the people that cannot be lived out at home. And I was thinking about this yesterday. Somebody commented on the marriage podcast I was talking to, and good morning, Anna, Autumn, and Jason. Good morning. Love you all. They said, it's just so not plain, but reachable, but accessible, and I said, that is literally what if there is such a thing as a calling or a yearning or a divine implantation in what's been put in my heart, is to put it out at that level. And somehow in this, we are succeeding in capturing that essence of accessibility. And because I don't want to bring out anything that's up here, I want to only live and be and teach and do and impart. For as much as you and I are Mike and Connie, as much as you and I are pastors Mike and Connie, whatever that means, that what we bring out to people is of an accessible nature. And so in that, I feel like this is episode 4. I feel like a good portion of 1, 2, and 3, we were able to find that real.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this. There's a couple of things. We've always said, even when we were pastoring, we used to do like Wednesday nights together a lot, where we were teaching on parenting or marriage or just things in general, life. I don't want to say life skills, but practical things that people need to live. And we had said how many times, I wish we could bring everybody home with us. Home. Yeah. Not that we do it perfect, but just to see. And then people who were in our home, or even I remember we had, we did a vacation down in Orlando and had a number of families come down, and a couple came to us and said, these, I guess 2 or 3 days we were down there over a weekend.
They sure did.
How much they had learned just by being around us, watching how we interact with our kids and whatnot. And you got a text yesterday.
It's crazy.
About someone who, we've known for a long time, and they come and just all that they have picked up. And they had been around us a lot, and, we're friends with them, and our kids are friends. Just all that they had picked up just by being around. And that's from across the pulpit and, behind the scenes, whatever that means. But I think the same thing, you learned that from your spiritual father,
Sure, to be the same person. Yeah. And that if there's any rich legacy that I want to leave, it's that any form of ministry should not be up high. Well, I think maybe the up high, the down on the ground is the highest up high that there is. And so that text, I maybe it's just because I'm so raw and open in this season, but the text hit me like I was reading it to you last night at dinner. I should have saved it for the podcast, but I messed up. That's too much. Anyway, but it was like, look, I and this guy is a precious man and precious family. All his kids are grown. Well, not all his kids are grown, but he was just saying, I realized how many little routines and little things that I learned. He said, maybe I don't say thank you. And I was like, brother, this is enough thank you for forever. But this is what we seek to do. This is what we seek to be as pastors. And so, yes, I am in my robe. Yes, I have not showered. Yes, she smells much better than I do. But it is.
I always smell better than you. No, not really.
It is coffee with her, and here we are. So we do have coffee. We do have her. Okay, so make note. We're doing this in the morning. Good morning, Terry. Good morning to you all. We're doing this in the morning. Hopefully, people on Facebook are finding us, but we're doing this in the morning. But next Tuesday, we're going to do it at night. It'll be 8:30 p.m. Hopefully, more people can join us. Some people, a lot of the people that watch this watch it via replay, and hundreds of people, I guess, watch it after the fact. But next Tuesday, the 23rd, the 16th. The 16th, we will be at 8:30 p.m. and it will be an after dark session. It will be for grown folks only. I won't say grown and married, but I will definitely say, of a certain age. I was going to say 18, but my son just turned 18 and he better not be anywhere near. The kids are like, we will be so far gone.
I said, see a movie.
Yeah, they said we were going to go see a movie next Tuesday. So anyway, go ahead.
Are you going to be in your robe next week is what I want to know.
Oh, you wait till you see what I'm wearing next week. I'm spandex, all spandex next week is what I'm wearing. Anyway, so it'll be coffee with her. We might have to put something fancy in your coffee. I don't know what that is. Maybe some mushrooms or something like that. We'll put in your coffee.
I'm just like out there.
Yeah, we're gonna do that one day. We'll get some mushrooms or whatever, and we'll take them like an hour. I don't know how long the mushrooms take to kick in, but we'll take them like if the podcast is at 8:30 p.m., we'll take them at like 7:30 p.m. And by the time we come on, what's so funny is we think that'll be so enlightened. It'll just be us staring at the camera for an hour. Like, is it on? Is it on? It'd be just 1 hour of, is it on? Okay. So if you're new to the podcast and you don't know how this works, it's pretty simple. Welcome all of you. Please help us today with the sharing out and putting out, because we've lost 1 or 2/3 now, I guess, of our connectivity with just didn't like it today. Just I'm not going to talk to Facebook. I'm not talking to Facebook today. Facebook's you're not talking to me. I'm not talking to you. So that's that. But the format is pretty simple. We come each week with something to ask each other that we've never asked, something to share with each other that we've never shared, and then, kind of responding to questions that we've been getting from you all, and we'll see how far that goes. Good morning, Serena. So, yes.
Do you want to share the question thing?
Oh, this here?
No, the question.
Oh, yes, thank you. Oh, yes, thank you. So, and if you have a question, you can write us. Now, of course, you can put a question in the chat. We always stop, and if you say, hey, what about this, or I kind of this, we'll always go back through after we go segment by segment and review and bring that out. So if you want to share it, you can. If you want to do it confidentially, you say, I have a question, but, what about this and that? You can email us there at Contact Michael Connie. It should go right to Connie's phone, and she should be able to answer it. It won't share your name or anything like that. But especially next week regarding sex and sexuality, I think the next week's broadcast is Let's Hear It for the Kinky Christians, or Kinky for Christ, or whatever it is. We're going to be exploring all things open and shame-free next Tuesday. So if you want to get questions in for that, ask them. All right, so that's that. All right, where are we starting this morning?
Do you want to go first? I feel like I went first.
Yeah, I think you did go first last time. All right, so this is a doozy, okay?
Oh, gosh, I get so like...
No. It's not heavy. Go ahead.
Let me say this. It's so funny because as I prepare, you're very good at interviewing questions. I realized I never went to journalism school at knowing how to ask a question.
What does that mean? I've never been to journalism school.
I know, but you do everything so awesome. So.
That's not true. Good morning, John Quill. We love you. All right, so here it is.
Okay,
this is going to be a thing here. Okay, first of all, my plants. Have you seen outside today?
No, I haven't looked outside. Are they better?
They're better.
Good.
They're better. We had so when Connie's mom passed away, somehow she inherited a peace lily from that. And that's over 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And I've been keeping the peace lily alive. And I talk to her every morning. I talk to Grandma. I tell her how Connie's doing. And I just try to give her updates on Connie. And I'm looking at it right now. She looks great, doesn't she? Well, my dad had 2 lilies given when my mom passed. And I had one given when my mom passed. That was 7 years ago. And I've been keeping those alive. And peace lilies, it's not very difficult to do. It's not like orchids or whatever.
But we stink at orchids.
Yeah, orchids, it was just terrible. But I did have that one bloom again.
Orchids,
yeah, we love it. Anyway, but they've kind of been, in a weird way, a connection to my mom and to her mom. And I kind of talk to them about what's going on in my life. So I'm going to say, you believe in that? Listen, man, if there's an audience over there that can hear, then I do it. And I encourage them. I tell them, because sometimes they fight, the plants fight. She's getting more light than me. I say, ladies, come on. But when we were going through what we were going through over this past, whatever, it doesn't matter. But the plants, I had no place to put them. It was trash them or leave them in storage. They did not do well in storage. And, Connie's mom's, your plant did pretty good in storage. She was down, hardy. But now she's like just alive. And I think
she looks like better than she has in a long.
Well, here's the thing. Well, so I'll get to
Is this your question?
Yeah, it is. It is. But
I figured it was being tied somehow.
So, but the other 4 were just like down bad. And I didn't think they were coming back. Usually just a little water and a little love, they come back. It didn't come back. Anyway, I went out this morning and they're not back, but they were all just down and they're like sitting up a little bit.
They just need a few days. They're going to bounce back. I told you.
Okay. So did you know?
Did I know?
Did you know? And this is actually in a movie script. That I'm writing. You know this part. Do you remember when your dad came to visit us?
Mm-hmm.
And your mom's plant had not bloomed in years, and your dad came down. And when your dad came down,
she perked up.
And that lily popped out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. And I think she knew her love of her life was in the house. And I think she knew he was with that other woman, and she was so upset. She said, I'm the pretty one over here. So, this is so funny. This is true. Okay, but did you know? And he said, man, you're superstitious. I'm whatever I am. Did you know that I relate the thriving of your mother's plant to you?
Wow, like if she's doing well, I'm doing well, or vice versa?
I feel like in my brain that keeping her updated about you, and that when she's blue, I treat it as, oh my God, what am I not doing to take care of Connie? Now. And when I see her blooming like that, I take it as, okay,
I must be doing really good because she looks great.
Season. That is a true thing.
I don't know if I knew that, but I did know that you take them very seriously. You spend time. I'll catch you as you go through and walk by them or watering them, and just, and people always say, talk to your plants.
Do you hear me talking to them?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I always ask if you're up there and you can shake any money loose, we could use it, man. I don't know what the deal is here, but I always tell your mom, I always say, you're the queen of deals. We need some deals here. We need you to find us some bargains here.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know when we may be going through something or even good things happening, you share it with them. Mm-hmm. Makes me cry. What is? I'm verklempt.
Verklempt, yep.
Anyways,
but did you know that
I did not do that. What I was going to say is I did know that you and my mom had a special little relationship and bond. My mom, years ago, before she passed, years before that, she was a smoker, and she would have to go, when we met, she would have to go outside to smoke, and used to go out in the freezing cold with her. She would, and smoke and just talk, and she would tell you things about what I like or how to treat me or what to do.
My daughter, yes, you would. But that was our bond, was smoking. And I didn't smoke at the time.
But you would just be
maybe I should have. Now I feel maybe I should have.
What do they call it? It's like like empathy or whatever. You're like
like secondhand, not secondhand smoke, but it's like
but you're like just.
Yeah, empathy. Yeah. So she goes out in 5-degree weather. Mm-hmm. My dad told me and this is just. Take this for what it's worth. Pop used to say that there's
Hey, Dre and T.
Oh, hey, Andre. Hey, love you guys. Hey, Serena, everybody's on. Okay, good. And okay, you found us. I guess people are finding us now. My dad used to say there's few people more dishonest than smokers. Mm-hmm. And he used to smoke. And he said, because the smoker is always telling you one thing, but they mean another. When somebody when they say, where do y'all want to eat? Y'all want to eat at Joe's? And the smoker says, nah, not Joe's. They're so busy at this time. Let's eat at Matt's Pub. They don't mean Joe's is busy. They mean Matt's has a patio and I can smoke. Mm-hmm. Anybody got to go to the bathroom? Yeah, I could go to the next stop. They don't mean they got to go to the bathroom. They mean,
we used to drive from northeast Ohio, down to Myrtle Beach, and you have to stop along the way, or my mom would make sandwiches and we would have them. But now I realize as a
smoke break, the Irishman smoke break. Anyway, good morning, John. Okay, so I'm gonna, but I equate the plant to your thriving. I carry a lot of pressure, and the part B to this.
I think we cry every week on this show.
This is, I think if we were naked laying in bed and you were laying on so we always talk about titty time, right? But we don't talk about perch time, right? That you lay on your little perch and you run your fingers through my hair and see how long the gray ones are, things like that. But do you know when the 4 of my mom's plants died that I was like, well, maybe this is the season to let her go officially. Maybe I've been trying to keep something alive. Maybe it's symbolic of something inside me that I haven't let go. And when I saw them 4 days ago, 3 days ago, 2 days ago, and yesterday, and they just were not coming back, I said, okay, Mama, maybe I need to move on. But then I looked at your plant doing so good, and I thought, man, maybe Connie still needs to have this, or man, maybe I'm really spiraling out. My mom knows I'm spiraling out. I didn't know how to interpret it. Doesn't matter this morning. The ladies are coming back
Brought a
strong.
smile to your face.
Coming back strong.
I'm glad that they're coming back because it is a special part. And I think there's a bond to it and a connection point for you. And, maybe there'll come a day where it's time to move on. But for now, I think they still stay around.
Yeah. So it's good. Okay. That was my question. Okay.
My question might be possibly a 4-part question. I'm not sure. We'll see. I've got different ways to ask.
And don't think I'm weird about my plants, man.
No.
I'm sharing the most intimate things I
No.
can share and
If
not
they
be
think you're
banned from
weird-
YouTube. Yeah,
If
that's
they
right.
think you're weird, they better not. Okay, so it's maybe a possibly 4-part question. We may only answer, it may not work that way. Again, I'm not a journalist and I don't know how to prep my questions very well.
Go ahead.
Okay. If you were my PR publicist,
Oh, man.
what would you want people to know about me? Just a simple thing. You don't have to go on and on, but just maybe one thing. What is something that you would want to make sure the people out there knew about me or the media, or you would want to put out there?
You mean like an OnlyFans or like a sex tape? Because it's coming to that.
No.
What would I want people to know about you?
Like something maybe that you know about me that, and it doesn't have to be super personal.
Okay,
but,
I do have that. I do have an answer.
It takes a second to kind of get your brain noodling.
Okay, so somebody says, great example, John Quill, singles and married couples who desire to be married and or have a healthy spirit-led union. I love your transparency for a different season of life. That's good. Okay, so is that...
My husband is the plant whisperer.
Yes.
He is the plant whisperer for sure.
Yeah. Everybody's got to have a plant whisperer. Like Mitch Hedberg said he saw an advertisement for a hose for all your hard-to-reach plants. He said, who would make a plant hard to reach? Why would you make a plant that you have to take care of so far out of your thing? Anyway, he's great, Mitch Hedberg. Somebody said to me the other day, I've not shared this with you.
Okay.
Okay, here it is.
It's really hard because we share everything, and to come up with stuff that we haven't shared.
Okay, this is something I would have shared with you.
Okay.
I was in a counseling session yesterday with a fine gentleman, and just pouring love in, and his wife walked through, and said, "I caught the podcast." I said, "Oh, that's so nice." She said, "Yes, it blessed me." I said, "Oh, that's so great." I said, "Well, you should see this one and this one if you didn't see last week's. Last week's was so profound." On such a deep level, we forgot we were podcasting twice, and I zoned out once and then zoned out a second time.
In a good way.
She zoned out once and zoned out a second time because it got so intimate. We were sharing things that we had never shared. I've always wondered, could you catch real intimacy on camera?
Where people weren't aware of the camera and the microphone.
And yesterday challenged, because my theory was last week, my theory was you could not have that you could never capture real intimacy. I'm convinced pornography does not show sex, even if it's between a husband and a wife. And they said we upload our sessions. When you know there are other eyes watching or might be watching, you conduct and comport yourself differently. And somebody said, well, what if you're spying on someone? Then you can see the real thing. But I'm convinced that if you're looking over a fence that you're not supposed to look at, that there's a filter over. It's neither here nor there. But that was my theory. But last week, we entered into such a heart zone connection. Anyway, okay. So this lady says, you know what's so fascinating to me is Connie, because people don't get to see you now that we pastor our Sunday church. People don't get to see you, but we need to remedy that. And she said it helped heal a rift in my marriage.
Wow.
She said, because Connie, she said, I think sometimes the woman's brain, and this is her words, is sometimes slower than the man's brain. And we talked about that. It could be that, or it could just be personality. And she said, I see Connie trying to put together the words and what she's saying. And she's saying, and when it comes to you, you just...
This is very true.
And she said, I feel like that's being married to him. And she pointed to her husband, where I'm trying to get a thought out, and he's already ping, 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 ping. So she said, so it was just cool to see and to feel like, well, I'm not condemned because I don't talk in the loops or like you say, have a journalism degree or whatever. So that was that. And I said to this woman, I said, oh, that's the whole trick. The whole trick is that Connie is the secret sauce. Mm-hmm. The whole trick is that everyone would look at me and go, I don't trust this guy. He's too slick. But because they see you, they go, okay, He must be legit if he's with her. And that has been at our church. That has been throughout. When people meet us, they don't know anything about us. They come and say, yeah, he's a good talker. What's up with this guy? Like that little meme, the guy's like, what's up with this guy? But I think when they see you, you are the authenticity. You are the real deal. You will recall at our Atlanta Bread Company date, the first Tuesday after we met, I was there in my yellow shirt with my white cuffs, and I looked at you after having dated you Friday, not Saturday, but Sunday, not Monday. Was it Monday or Tuesday?
It was Monday. It was at Atlanta Bread Company.
Okay, Monday. So we went, yes, when we went to Monday, Atlanta Bread Company, I said to you what?
You said, I think you might be too good for me.
Too good for you. And I didn't mean too hoity-toity. I didn't mean that I was just a country bumpkin and that you were fancy big city girl. What I meant was it took me Friday night about the first 5 minutes to see you're pure in heart. You have no guile. You have no angle. And I thought, I do not need to bring my mess into this person's life. And if I had a PR company and I wanted to put something out to the world, I would want people to see that you are sunshine in a bottle. You are Snoopy. You are Morph. You are Tiny Chef. That you just are inherently good and inherently full of light. And if I could somehow explain to the whole world or reveal to the whole world that that's what I see, that's my answer to that question.
Okay. So I don't know how we're doing on time because I have other
we're
parts
doing fine.
Okay.
Yes, we're doing fine.
Okay. So not getting too personal, just
No,
drop something. But is there anything that you would say, okay, I want to make sure this doesn't get leaked? And I don't mean like you say sex tape or whatever. I'm saying,
but sex tapes leaked is like $9 million. So yeah.
But I'm talking about like just living with me day in and day out. Like if just.
Okay, that's a good one. Well, I will tell you that I don't think this. Serena says yes. You can feel it. You can feel the intimacy. Yeah, I agree. Or maybe she was talking about you can. It is felt. Maybe is that what you see about the light? I don't know. Whatever it's felt, it's felt. Yeah, and if I had to hide something from the world, if I had to hire a fixer or damage control person from the world, it's funny because I wouldn't need to pay them as much now as I might have needed to pay them a few years ago, because you've come a long way, baby. Getting riled up over the cost, not the cost, the loss of 50 cents, or the loss of I had a buy one get one free plus a 50% coupon plus 20% because it's my birthday and this and that, and they said, well, we can only honor 3 of those things at a time, and you can barely eat your Arby's sandwich because you could have saved 29 cents. And seeing how long it took you to recover from that, honestly, and we've talked about this. I said, you got to pull your snit together. And I said, snit. You got to pull your snit together because the kids don't need to see you crash out over 29 cents. And since we had that conversation X years ago, you're like, yeah. And sometimes I can see you dealing. Oh, man, they got my 29 cents.
I do purpose
they
now.
They got my 29 cents, blasted bunion. And you're like hung up over 29 cents.
Which is just so crazy.
Yeah. But so that would be, so that okay. So is that something?
Yeah, that is something. And
okay, like forget PR. Like if we had company of strangers and you like got quiet at the meal and they're like, Connie, is everything okay?
You would know.
I would make up a thing. I said, oh yeah, we just found out her grandma died. She's okay. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry, because I can't tell him the reason she's not eating is she didn't get the last 29-cent coupon on her.
Purposely, you have helped me so much.
Well, again, we wouldn't need as much PR today.
I know, but you have helped me so much. But it's always funny because if we were like, if we were like this far apart when we met, you've come into, I know how to get a BOGO deal or how to do it. Yeah. And, so you are right. Okay. So I'm just going to take 30 seconds and share if it was reversed, but just something.
Oh, yeah.
That.
Go ahead. I don't know if I consented to have you say what you would hide from the world, but go ahead.
No. It won't. No,
it doesn't matter.
It won't be like that. That's why I said nothing too personal.
Put me on blast.
I don't want it to be like. So the first part is, whatever people or most people, because I know there's always haters or whatever people say, whatever most people think of you as funny and smart and just this, deep person or good heart and want to help people and the way you connect it, all of those things. Mm-hmm. I've said this before, so it's not like that I think you are all of that. Mm-hmm. And I know you better than anybody in the world.
You do.
I know you everything, behind the scenes, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I would say you are all that. I don't mean all that in a bag of chips. You are everything, all of the good that people may think of you.
Okay.
But you're even more than that. They don't even get to see the other part of it.
Wow.
And then the other side of it is...
So that's what you would want a
just
PR
like
person
that people would know.
You're very kind.
But the other part is, I think you're superhuman. I know people are like, who is this guy? He is not from this planet, because you can do anything. But I would say, and it's okay, you get tired, you get frustrated, you get, you're down sometimes, and that's okay, because you aren't superhuman, you are human.
Yeah.
Even this morning on this podcast, the frustration of what in the world, why isn't this working? And then to have to come out in your robe. But it's okay that, what we have been through in the last month, we talked about this, how when I'm like, I don't know if I could take another step or a breath, you are there to encourage and lift and paint a picture of we're going to make it, and vice versa.
Yeah.
But it's okay to not be superhuman. So.
Well, I do get tired, and
everybody does, and it's okay.
I'm not sure how much of your evaluation of me is tied to your experience with men who came before me. I'm not sure. It's like when they're in the woods, you say, you can't, two guys walking in the woods, and one guy puts on his tennis shoes. He says, what are you doing? You can't outrun that bear. He says, I don't have to outrun the bear. I just got to outrun you. I really don't have to be that great. I just have to be greater than whatever you've experienced before. And I think about that sometimes, that your definition of husband and father and co-parent and co-partner is probably so skewed that if I'm just a little less belligerent bears in Biloxi, that I could succeed pretty well. But your point is taken, that I was listening to Dr. King's sermon. Dr. King had his own sermon played at his funeral, which is pretty wild if you ever get a chance to hear it.
Wow.
Yeah. So his last message
is it the one we saw at the...
but there's a part you never hear. The part that they played at the funeral was his last sermon he ever preached. But we hear, I've seen the mountaintop, I may not get there with you. And he's basically saying, no, I'm going to die. And the next day he's gone. But in before that, he's saying, don't let it be said at my funeral that I won a Nobel Peace Prize. Don't let it be said that I spoke at this place and that. Don't let it be said that I met with presidents. Let it be said that I've tried to feed the hungry and to clothe the naked and blah, blah, blah. So that's what you want to be, and that would be the thing. Okay. But the tired thing, and this is what's interesting, is this morning, yes, the tech, but it's so funny you say about this morning, the tech frustrated me or whatever. I really made a decision. I'm not going to let the blasted blunion affect me. And I was actually okay. And I went in to shower, blah, blah, blah. But when I came out and I was in my robe and I was like, it was 8:29. And you're like, Mike, go change. And I said, no. The reason I said no is I was at the edge of saying, I'm so tired of fighting all this stuff. I'm just not going to do it. And I was like, I got to brush my teeth. And I couldn't even see out of my glasses. And so it is human, and we are human, and we do get tired. I've noticed over the past month with what we've been dealing with, I've noticed you said to me several times, okay, you're just tired, and just, okay, it's okay. Why don't you take a breath? And I hate that. Not that you say that, but because I know when you're saying that to me, I must be giving off that I'm angry or that I'm frustrating. Hey, Prince Quentin from New Jersey, glad you're on. I know that when you're saying that, I must be giving off vibes. And what's bad about me giving off vibes or being short is I should never be short with you because you deserve the absolute best. But I also know that when you're coming to me, you're probably not coming to me because I'm being short with you. You're coming to me because I'm being short with the kids, or that I'm giving off shortness, which I know you don't want me to pass that off, pain off to them. So when you say that to me, I'm like, okay. And you don't tell me to calm down. You don't tell me to react. You say, hey, we're fine. Just breathe for a second. And I think that's probably appropriate for me once a quarter over a period of a year. The fact that in the past month you've done it like 9 times, it's like, oh my God.
It's probably more than in the 25 years.
Yeah. So that's, yeah.
Well, a couple of things. First, you talk about not the standard, but the level of you just have to be better than any
right,
jerk, you know.
Right, yeah.
And I understand that the bar was set so very low.
You don't have Tom, Dick, and Harry, you know. I just have to be better than Tom, Dick, and Harry. Just Dick, and Dick. Yeah.
But the bar was set so low,
Mm-hmm.
I understand why you say, well, I just have to be. But Mike, if you were just a good guy, or, you know what I'm saying? But you're so far beyond that.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay, I do.
Okay. It's very funny because I would not have thought my next thing, my shared thing, would have kind of rolled into kind of what I did not plan it that way, but just kind of what you were saying at the end.
We're doing great.
So I am going to do mine next, if that's okay.
That's perfect.
Because it's kind of like a dovetail into.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay. So this is my share. And
if you're new, we ask something we've never asked. We share something we've never shared. And hopefully we get to some of your questions as well. But go ahead. Yeah, and then stick around for the blessing. And then the last thing we do, we release a blessing over each other every morning, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter. But we are out in public. One of us is showered and dressed, and we have not blessed each other today. We save it. So what you're going to hear is our actual faith over each other for Tuesday,
September 9th.
September 9th. Go ahead.
Okay. So you know this part about me, that I don't like to make a fuss. I don't like to make a fuss about me. I don't like to ask for anything. I don't. I'd rather kind of just do it myself than have to ask someone to do it. And that's not, well, I can do a better job. Let me just do it myself. It's like, I think a couple of things. One, some of that comes from my childhood. I tried to shrink my footprint because I feel like, you know, I did not want to create unnecessary tension, which I feel like growing up there was tension. We learned that in childhood, that I had tension, and I felt like the creator of the tension. So I think I tried to shrink my footprint. We had financial, really tough seasons. My dad get laid off or whatnot, and I did not want to have to ask for money to do something. So, you know, I'd either forego it or find a way to do it. So I think in my key developmental years, I shrunk myself, and it could be
collapsed your
personality wiring, which probably is not good in the sense of, I think it led into a lot of the mess that I ran into, because it just was not to make a fuss. So I'd rather just do it myself. I had to adjust to this when I met you, in the sense of, I remember a couple of things. One, you know, you were a associate minister, assistant minister, whatever at the time. Then we were pastoring. And the fact that people would want to do something for you than us, that you don't do for
make a fuss,
or someone's like, oh, let me, you know, run this errand for you, or you know, clean this for you, or whatever. And it was like, took me a mental adjustment. I don't know if you remember this. It was our first Christmas. We got married in August of 2001. This was December of 2001. And we were going to go see my family at Christmas time. But because we were flying up there, I was going to have the gifts wrapped and shipped to go up there. And I had so many things going on, and you said something like, just have so-and-so wrap them for you. And it was like, no, that's something I want to do, you know, and we've had these things over the years. So that's not necessarily the
That's a big thing. That's a big thing. So we're going to get, these are good questions. Prince, just hold out a minute, because we're going to get to some of your stuff. This is good. Okay, so go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, because just don't leave, because I want to address some of the stuff. Okay. I do remember that Christmas. I think I was in such a high productive 60 hours a week, 70 hours a week zone, that somebody saying, hey, I know you have to get to the airport. I put gas in your car. Is like, thank you so much. And to come from, why would anybody put gas in your car? I had to clone myself
Yeah.
otherwise. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
So I realized I don't like asking you to do stuff for me. You know, not just everyday stuff, but like, you know, especially as we said over this month or whatever, it was like, I know all that you were dealing with. I did not want to have to ask, or even, you know, if I had to do something that was a bigger task for me, then I would try to do it so I would not have to put any more on you,
Wow.
if that makes sense.
It does.
And I think that comes out of all the other stuff. But I realized, and there's another part to this, so don't let me forget at the end.
No, go for it.
But I realized, I say, I don't want to ask him to do this. But then sometimes I just have to. But I realize you do the same, and I want to help you just like you want to. You say, what about me makes you think that I am not going to do that for you? And I'm just saying the same is true for me, but sometimes I think you tried to be superhero as well and not allow me to help you. Does that make sense?
It does.
And you were like, I think you may feel like, well, I don't want to put anything else on her. I want to do that for you. And I think I realize it's helping me realize that there's stuff you want to do for me. So I think I.
Okay.
And I still have one more part, but you can respond to this part.
Okay. So, what does the man do? What does the husband do after marriage counseling? The dishes, if he knows what's good for him. From my earliest childhood, and I love my mom, peace be unto her. If you've been to my one-man show, you know when I take you to the story. If not, it's coming to a city near you. But I think sometime early on, I was trained to employ my gifts and my energies to make a parent okay, which is not okay, but I don't judge anything. It's just, listen, people go through stuff. Somewhere else, I think I learned that maintaining the equilibrium in the matriarch of a family, keeping a woman calm, and is good for my survival. This carried into even when my mom was single, even into my mom's marriage. I became a person who, when there was tension in the home and she was having a flare-up of whatever, was set out to how do I minimize. And I would instantly go, it was like when I would get in trouble when I was little, it's like my mom would spank me in the room, and she'd spank me. And I mean, this is a 1970s spanking where each whack lifts the kid off the ground. She would spank me. Walking around in circles, screaming, as she's holding one arm, and then she would put the belt on the door, and she'd say, "I'm not even sure if I'm done yet. I might be back, and get this room cleaned up." And this is at 5 years old, and so I'm picking up my and looking at the belt at the corner of my eye, not sure when the door is going to fling open again. Now, she did not end her life with that discipline philosophy, but there was certain a time in her life that was the discipline philosophy that I was. And people grow.
Yeah.
People grow. She would say, "Oh my God," and she even told me, "Don't do what I." Okay, that's not the point. So when I sense tension, especially with the female in the home, the lioness in our home, I immediately go into peacekeeping mode. This is part pathology and part personality, because I notice with Olivia, who has not had the trauma that that you have had, that I have had, that my mom has had, that many people have had, but by personality, our daughter, when she senses tension with me, tension with you, tension between me and you, she immediately goes into, by personality, not by pathology, how do I make it? And she'll get Mikey do this and that in her little brain. And they say, "Oh, it's firstborn syndrome, blah, blah, blah." Not necessarily. It's just, it's who she is. She can immediately says, how do I bring peace to this situation? There's a point. One of the main reasons that I don't like to ask of you, there are two. Number one is primarily, if I don't feel like I've done a good job in our lives, if I feel like me driving the truck has messed up our lives, that I got us on a bumpy road, that we may not have the finances, or we may not have the peace, or we may not have the security, or may not this, that while I'm driving the thing and you're bumping your head in an old Ford with no airbags and blah, 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 while I got us off road and we're hitting potholes. The shame of saying, hey, could you do this for me? When what I'm trained to do is you've got the matriarch of the family in a road she doesn't want to be on. Shut up and make her okay. I am trained to put a pillow by your head so you don't hit the thing, to apologize 1,000 times, to and the fact that in the middle of that I would have an itch on my back, can you scratch it, is I'm not qualified to ask that from you. Because I got us, like Laurel and Hardy, this is another fine mess you've got us into. The B part is, I don't want to be I don't want to be an endless bucket of need.
But I feel the same way. But
but I don't think you're an endless bucket of emotional need. I feel like my fractured bag of glass that I am, of self-doubt and downness and depressed is my default mode. Unsurety. And maybe it's only a recent phenomenon. Maybe when I, what is the comedian? Am I a tiger? I don't feel like a tiger. Maybe when I feel like a tiger, maybe I'm much more attractive. Maybe I'm much more able to pour out. Maybe I feel like I'm much more attractive. That there's a greater attraction to me. But when I don't feel like a tiger, I feel like sometimes I'm just coming to you again. And there's this whole new trend of, don't be your man's mama. Don't be your man's therapist. Don't be your man's counselor, which I just think is, I don't know any marriage that nurturer is not part of the job. I am a nurturer to you, which is part parental and it's part psychological and it's part best friend and it's part safe place and all these other kind of things. You are a nurturer to me. But one of the things I feel like is when I wake up in the morning and my head is pounding and sometimes I'm not able to even open my eyes because of whatever's going on, I hate asking you, could you make me some toast and give me something so I can take some medicine? Because I feel like all I do is ask of you.
But you don't. That's the thing.
I'm just telling you how I feel. I'm telling you, some of us will, some of us won't. That's just how brother feel. I feel like you are always pouring out. You're always getting the plate. You're always making sure the kid. And my son, peace be unto him. He doesn't eat this. He doesn't eat that. You make a dinner for the whole family, and then you make a special dinner for him. And so I feel like the dog needs you. My daughter, Mom, can you help me with this? My dad needs you. Hey, Connie, can you check on this? So I feel like a person who I see you, and it's always poof. What do you need? 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 That here I'm coming and say, hey, by the way, can you do that? So that is the answer to the question. But then the other side of you saying that you don't like to ask me for anything, I feel like you ask for nothing. And I think maybe there was a time where I was of the agility of mind to, is anybody out there? Okay. I just got lost talking again. I didn't even know we were still streaming. I think there was a time where I was of agility of mind. We got about 10 minutes. Where I could see your needs and anticipate. When you would look around for a pen, I would make a pen appear. And I realized that through the battle weariness of the past decade, maybe not decade, but 7 years, has been lost or diminished. And I just feel like it would pain me to think that there are things you are needing or wanting that you're just not even bothering to ask. And I would say, oh my God, what am I giving off that she would think that she just can't come and say, hey, Mike, I need this. But I can relate to it 100% because I'm like in the middle of all that we're carrying. I don't, a kid, I realized that when your kid is eating and they're done with their sandwich and they got crust in a napkin, they just walk up to the mom and hand it to them. Here, I'm done with this now. And the mom's like, oh, great. This is a jelly sandwich. Thank you so much. And you just, Mom, I'm done with my cup now, Mom. And it's like, yeah, I'll take it. And then they grow out of that. But eventually the thing switches and the parent ages and the adult child says, Dad, Mom, let me take that for you. Let me take that for you. And I feel like, what did Jim Gaffigan say? What is it like having a fourth child? Well, imagine yourself stranded in the middle of the ocean treading water and somebody throws you a baby. I feel like I see you treading water. And for me to come in and say, hey, Connie, can you do this? not only do I have am I qualified to ask because of how far off the road I may or may not have us at the time? B, I don't want to be an endless bucket of need where I'm an emotional need and I need to be talked off the ledge here and I need to be reminded of my tigerness here. And now all of a sudden I have another need. I don't want to do that. But then also I'm trying to be sensitive to what you're carrying. And I don't want to be the child that while you're holding 9 things, I say, hey, can you hold this for me? And because I understand what I'm going through, I cannot be bitter with you. Or not bitter. I cannot be frustrated that golly, what have I given off to my wife that she feels like she can't ask for anything? Because we're in the same boat.
That is what I've learned as preparing for today, is that even though I know I try to not ask, I think that's my wiring or personality or whatnot, that you not wanting to ask of me, that we just have to allow each other,
Yeah.
Let me close with this because I know we have your thing. And I need you. There's things that you do for me. I mean, you make sure every night that my phone is on the charger. You've set up chargers for me. My watch is on the charger. My robe is at the end of the bed. I mean, that's just one example of the many things you do for me. But I need you.
Yeah. Well, good.
And I want that. So it's not that, well, I don't need anybody and I can handle everything myself. I need you. And then it got me to thinking, and I know we've got to kind of move on to the next thing, but about all we're doing is walking each other home and the sharing of the life. And,
just so you have context. So the thing is, the reason we have human friendships and blah, 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 is that ultimately all we're doing as human beings is walking one another home, walking one another to that next place. And so you are walking me home and I am walking home. Please continue. Yeah.
That's all. That especially we're 52. I have felt more aches and pains in my body in the last 2 weeks than I ever felt, but but my point is, as we age, as we get into our 70s, 80s, 90s, it's really going to be the two of us becoming one in a different sense that, even now you say, I can't read this. Mike, let me read that for you. Or if I need something.
Golly, yeah. Man, what are we going to...
I was going to say, if I don't have my glasses at night or you drive. Anyway, that's all. Okay, so what do you have?
Oh, okay, this is so
Is this
good.
going to work for now?
Yeah, I think, yeah, this is great. Okay, we got it. Here we go. So, each person, here's my thing. Each person handles pressure in their own way. So I've got my notes here, but then I'm going to read this because it's, each person deals with pressure in their own way. I'm going to get to a thing. And it's amazing how this is woven together, especially because we haven't talked. My dad, when he was in Vietnam, so you're in a platoon or whatever, and there's always new guys coming in. You always have a guy on day 3. Okay, so this is good. We'll get to these questions. These are good. Let me mark this as a question. Okay. So you're in your platoon, you always have guys that are at day 360. They're 5 days away from going home, and there's a guy at day 5. That's always, so people are always shipping in and out. Short timers. Each person deals with pressure in their own way. My dad said when new people would come into the platoon, they'd be in a firefight in the jungle. He said guys fell into 4 categories, and of course fight, fawn, and freeze. Right? He said. Some guys in the middle of the battle new guys would freak out and run straight towards the enemy and say, just kill me, just kill me. And he said, you're having to pull them down, right? He said some guys would freak out and curl up in a ball and just, oh, mommy, help me, which of course that's the primal regression. To this day, my mom's been gone 7 years. Your mom's been gone 8 years. And the most primal place of pain that I can be in is, mommy, please help me. And he said, well, you're 52. How could you be in that place? Because as far back as you can go, which is another whole thing. The third thing is, he said, guys would panic fire. You've got a clip. It's got 15 bullets or 60 bullets or whatever it is. And it's just, and then you're out of ammunition. But then he said the fourth group was people that remembered their training. And it's like, wait a minute. This is it, and so, in life there is performance under pressure, and then there's performance under increasing pressure. And when you get married, what you're looking for is somebody that can, you and I decided the first night we should get married, which was stupid. But by month 3, I was like, oh, it's okay, because we had the big falling out. And I got married not because I thought, well, we'd worked everything out, but because I saw we had the skill and the will to work. And I was like, okay, well, if we walk through and talk through this, I read a quote the other day: the strongest marriages are built of 2 people that are good at repairing, that are dedicated to repairing. Not that there'll be no battles, not that there'll be no bumps, not that there'll be no breaches in the hull, but we're dedicated to repairing. And some people say there's a battle, a bump, and a breach. What have you done here? I just can't believe you did it. You're going to sink. You've got to be committed repairers. Okay. You and I are both proactive in pressure, which is good. It makes us good partners. We don't just freeze. We do what we're trying to do. But I've noticed we have 2 different patterns. You run to the point of attack where the battle is, and I strategize on the big picture. You run to where the leak in the boat is, and I step back to see, is there water that we can get to that doesn't have these hidden rocks beneath it? I watch you run to the leak and start repairing the leak. And I'm like, that's awesome. But we're just going to have another leak and another hole and another hole if we don't get us out of these waters. And I noticed that, and there's tension in our marriage because I noticed this with the bills. You're like, we should go over the finances. And I'm like, yeah, let's go over the finances. Can I stop you right here? It's like I do in the church now. But I really think you should hear my opinion on the Bible, Pastor Mike. That's fine. But can I just stop you right here? If all this is going to end with that the Muslims and the Jews that died today in the war are in Pakistan and India, the Hindus and the Muslims that die, is your, whatever you're going to tell me from the Bible, does it end with if they don't believe in Jesus, they're going to hell? Because I just fast forward you right now. I'm not listening to what you're saying. Well, don't you see the Bible? If you're coming at me with the Bible says, you can just stop. I save your breath and mine. So when you say we should go over the finances, I always say, if this is going to end with we need $10 and we have 43 cents, if that's where it's going to end, I don't need the detailed picture of that. I mean, this is how it is. But you deal with where the point of attack is. How can I look at this money? How can I take this 50 cents and split it over here and get 29 cents and put this person off and get 11 cents? If I only give them 11 cents, it might buy them until the next week. And I'm sitting here going, okay, what can we do to get out of? So I'm in the strategy thing and you're in the war thing. Okay, you tracking with me so far?
Makes total sense.
Okay. So I've noticed during the move, back to my notes, coffee with her, what we've gone through this past 7 weeks, this past 7 years, this has been a recurring thing. I told you when we hooked up, baby, that don't fall in love with Minister Mike or whatever you think this persona is. I come from trailer parks. My people are from the foothills of Kentucky. And simple folk, don't fall in love with this outer picture of what you think this is. I could be broke one day. We could be riding the bus one day, blah, blah, blah. I did not realize at the time that was prophecy, right? I did not realize I was prophesying, because I had lived in hotels before. I had lived out of cars before. I never thought I would return to that place. And I kind of was giving you a warning, not, hey, this is where we're headed. But I just want to know that this person who had known Minister Mike as the preacher, and you said, I'm not marrying Minister Mike. You said, I'm going to marry Mike, right? So, okay, so this is the thing. But here's the point. I've told you so many times that you deserve better. Have I not said this over the past? I just wish you were somebody that didn't take you off-road, because this is not as advertised. That I think you were marrying someone that you saw, okay, this person is stable. This person provides a good life. This person, blah, blah, blah. I don't think you were saying, oh, man, we'll live really better. We can go to any restaurant we want. I don't think you were saying that, but I think you felt maybe, I don't know what you felt like, okay, as a woman might feel. he's a safe marriage thing. Okay. But I was watching you move the other day. Mikey and I were backing out of the truck, or we were coming back in the truck in, and you were in the garage moving all this stuff as we were facing hours to get out of our home. And I told Mikey, I said, I don't know if I've ever said this to you, but my spiritual great-grandfather said this, and I said, son, I'm going to pass this advice on to you. Don't marry no chicken woman. Don't marry a woman who, when the fight goes down, she's going to run to the enemy and say, kill me. She's going to curl up in a ball and say, mommy. She's going to panic. Marry a woman who's going to remember her training and kick in and just do what needs to happen. And I said, your mama is not a chicken woman. We are here. The heat is on. The chips are down. The other shoe has dropped. And she's not looking at me saying, how did I end up in this rat bastard situation? How did I end up in this loser situation? She's looking at me saying, well, I guess today this is what we're doing, and we got till 1 o'clock to do it. Okay, here's the point. So when we were moving all this stuff and you kept saying, I need to go here, I need to go here, it occurred to me that we have two different things of visiting the storage unit. I just need to go to the storage unit. I need to find some stuff. Your visit to the storage unit was, I'm looking for this. I think it's in that box. Okay, I'll move. Mike will move 20 boxes at 70 pounds each after having done this for a month. Okay, I just need to go to the storage unit. It might be in that bottom box. I'll move because, you've got the girl penis, I've got the boy penis, so I'll just move all this stuff around. And your trip to the storage unit is like, maybe it's in that one. And I'm like, it's in that one. Do you know how hard that is to move all that kind of stuff? But here's what hit me. That as I bared the brunt of that brutality of the move, the physical move, when you're like, okay, we have to move this furniture. We're not moving at 50-50. I'm carrying 125 pounds of the table. You're carrying 25 pounds on the table. And you're going, okay, set it down, watch my fingers. And I'm like, do I have a partner that can move this? And Mikey is my partner. And that dude has been stretched at, all that he could do. He became a man this past week. He turned 18 last week. He became a man in this move, moving dressers down 2 flights of stairs and blah, blah, blah. But you never backed down. You never quit in the fight. You never buckled. And when we were moving Sunday, we were lifting that thing into the van. You're like, I'm sorry. And you said, I realize I'm a girl. And girl doesn't mean weak. You're pretty strong. But you're not, I'm 250 pounds. You're not lifting the thing. And I'm so grateful that you're a girl, because when the move is over, I'm so glad. And during the move, I wish there was another dude across the table from me. After the move, I'm really appreciating not a girl, or that you're a girl. But here's what hit me. That getting all the stuff to storage, digging all the stuff out of storage, the bulk of that physical work was on me. But do you know when it comes to partaking of the fruit of that work? The kitchen, the organization, the blah, blah, blah. That in that sense, you're like, Mike, can you put that up top? Yeah, I got it. I'm doing this much while you work in there. And that is that, again, the place of attack, and that our battle strategies, our battle strengths compete. Okay, a compliment. Yeah. Last point. And then it's you. And then Sunday night, you said something to me, and you said it again on this broadcast. Maybe not the same way. And I have not told you how I'm sharing now, how deeply it hit me, but I'll share it with you now. We had brought 64 boxes from the storage unit. You were trying in this little bitty, thank God for this little bitty apartment, but cramming everything. I opened the pantry. I'm like, how did she do this? You did great. But I was trying to sort out the internet, the ALEXAs, the studio, all the stuff, just trying to connect in the Wi-Fi and blah, 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 which is not my forte. And you said, well, I know you're doing the tech, and I know that's very hard. And that hit me because just somebody could see the plight of what I was dealing with. And it's not really hard. But I want to let you know that just as you looking at me saying, he's really trying to figure out that tech, I see you playing Tetris. And I see you trying to take a size 8 family and fit it in a size 4 shoe. And I know your job is hard too. And I thank you that over the past 7 weeks and the past 7 years, I didn't marry a chicken woman. And, they ask at Disney in an interview, how many pieces of trash is it reasonable to pick up on the corner during your shift? And the people say, I don't know, 50, 100. And the only answer is as many pieces of trash as there are. And as many pieces of trash as we've had to pick up. You've had some Advil. You've had some Aleve. But you have not buckled down and quit. And I want to let you know that as you look at what I'm wrestling with and could easily minimize and say, oh my God, Mike, get your little gadgets together. But you saw value in the work that I was trying to solve. I see value. I've always seen it, but I don't think I've ever verbalized. I see what it takes to pull this thing together. And good job. I know your job is hard.
Well, thank you.
And I'm glad you're a girl.
You'll be very glad I'm a girl now.
I know, that's right.
Your thing about us attacking from different ways, different sides, is very true. I think that's our personality and hardwiring, because I always say I'm the detail person, you're the big picture person, and it makes sense that the attack on this move in the past few weeks, it fell in line with the same. That
it's a manifestation. Yeah.
And you were saying about opposing, but then you came back and you, I don't know, corrected yourself and said complimenting, which I see them as complimenting. And I think sometimes...
Is that PLE?
PLE. I think sometimes in relationships, marriages, whatever, that when you see somebody doing something different than you, you can look at it as, that's stupid, why are they doing it that way? But when we look at it as complimenting, we see the strength and the wisdom in the other person's part, and then we're able to move forward.
I think so. And in my brain, I think in my heart, I cursed you. Like, what do you mean you don't know where the pans are? What do you mean you might have put them in that box? What do you mean that's not the right kitchen box? I just moved 9 boxes, 45 pounds each. It was on the bottom. When I got to the bottom, you're like, I don't think that's the one. And all I kept saying is, does she not see how hard this is for me? And it's really not hard to move boxes. It's hard to move boxes after 3 weeks of moving and blah, blah, blah. But I realized the cursing in my heart was unjust because it was me at the front of that workload. But as soon as I got that workload down, I stepped to the back row and you stepped up front. And that's when you were in the engine and I became the caboose. And it took 25 years for me to go, oh, wow. Bob Marley said every man thinks their own burden is the heaviest. And my point is this, when you verbalized, man, I know you're doing the tech and I know that can be hard. You're verbalizing my little plight actually gave me the conviction and the clarity to just go, yeah, look at what she's doing. And I see it, and it's massive. And what you do is huge, and I'm a partaker of it. And in that area, I'm the one carrying just a little finger on the table of that area, and you're carrying that. And I would say that we share that very uniquely.
The last thing I'll say is I think this goes back to the thing I shared about not wanting to ask. Yeah. So I know, oh my gosh, we've got to go to get out of the storage unit. I'm thinking of the 5 things I can't find right now.
Right. Golly, yeah.
And it's just, it's not even like, oh my gosh, I don't have it's practical, very needed stuff to provide meals for her family each day, like where I thought I cannot find any cutting board. I'm going to go out and get cutting boards, but you need a cutting board, you need one. And then we need, we have one specifically for meat. But I wrestle with, I'm not going to ask him to go back, which we've kind of made a deal of. We're not going back to the storage unit for like 4 or 5 days because we're just exhausted with it. But I think about things that I need to move forward, but then I also wrestle with, but I don't want to ask him to have to do that.
But you know how I'm going to hear that. How am I going to hear that?
That you're this bear and I don't want to approach you to ask you.
I don't want to give
but
off
that's
that
not
impression.
But you don't. But
Okay.
I know sometimes I'm screwy. I'm screwy in my mind, like can't keep things straight. But you know what it was like in the chaos.
It was nuts.
I thought I had stuff in a certain place and it got put behind a wall of furniture and, so.
But see, to me, that's rinse and repeat because it was a screwy move because I was driving the car and I messed up our lives. It was a screwy move because I did not have the adequate support to get it done. So therefore, Connie's not sure where the boxes are, which part of that is
just my
general.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That predates the move.
But now I must have given off a signal that I can't be bothered anymore.
No, you're just exhausted.
Right. But I'm saying, but you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But going back to my childhood where I've got to make the matriarch okay, that I don't want to have the wife who said, I would ask my husband for help of what I need, but I got to work around his mood or his whatever. So I don't want you to work around me because that's not what a woman should do. But if you're saying, no, I recognize that he's maxed and maybe this is not the time to ask. But I think maybe if it's a cutting board, you're like, look, we could go undo the total storage and I could find a cutting board, or I could spend $6.99 on Amazon. Yeah. That's okay with me. What's not okay with me is you having an emotional, physical, sexual, or household need that you're like, I don't want to bother him. Because I don't want to be driving the car off road and you feel like I got to be quiet because he's going to. Do you understand the difference?
I do, and that's not it.
Okay.
I'm saying
no. But as long as you're telling me that you're not withholding.
Exactly.
Okay.
I think in this conversation, in this revelation, whatever, a revealing of ourselves, I think what we're learning is we're seeing ourselves and wanting to be a better version of ourselves, but also seeing the other and trying to be sympathetic to what they are carrying as well.
That's good. All right. Let's go here. We've got a couple of questions and then we'll go. Let me see here. So I still haven't fixed this. It says my wife.
You only had a few things going on.
Yeah, my wife and I are married. Okay, that's not going to help anybody. Let me just read it this way. My wife and I are married. It's been we just got married in January. Well, congratulations, Happy New Year. Happy Newlywed. It's been 65% positive, 35% negative. You're actually doing pretty good. The first 2 years are brutal, but you'll get through it. I graduated from Bible school. See you guys as family. I'm from Jacksonville. I moved here to Jersey, and the culture is different. Yeah, I'll say. So we don't really have. Sometimes I feel as if I can't or not allowed to be the man and lead. Yeah, well, watch last Tuesday's broadcast because we talk about the myth of the man and leading, so that may help you there. I'm listening. I just want to mention that we have arguments over stupid things. That's marriage 101. That's what you're going to do. I feel like every time I say something as Sarah as she shuns it. Yep. As if what I say doesn't really qualify. I'm not spiritual enough, or what I'm feeling. Experience is not real. I apologize for commenting so much. I'm going to give you this, Quentin. And again, last Tuesday may be helpful for you, but listen to this here. This may help you. Let me read this to you here. Here we go. So this might help you. Marriage has 6 phases. I read this the other day. Phase 1, the dream phase. You imagine the perfect life, no flaws, butterflies. Love feels easy because reality hasn't hit yet. So you were in that, and that's why you ended up getting married. That's the delusion. Phase 2, the discovery phase. Now you see the real person. You notice the quirks, the flaws, the wounds. The mask is off, and you're asking yourself, can you love them in this place? So that's probably where you are. Now the disappointment phase. It's happening to you fast. This isn't what I expected. Arguments happen. They feel personal. You start wondering, okay, if I made a mistake here, that's phase 3. Phase 4, but you eventually get that. It can take a while to get through that. But then phase 4 is the rebuilding phase. You stop trying to change each other, and you just start learning each other. You start to create boundaries. And now you love intentionally versus this is not delivering to me what I thought it would deliver. So now I'm going to have to build the life we want, which is a big thing. Phase 5 is the deep love phase, and this is a really great one. You've seen each other at the worst, and you still stayed. Now when you get to this deep love phase, you find peace, you find passion, you find true companionship. And then phase 6 is the legacy phase. You become role models for others without realizing it. Your love inspires others. You've built something that outlives the feelings up and down. I know that was a fast forward thing. Yeah, I thought that was great. Yeah. But you've got to know, every long married couple has had that first year, second year, third year. It used to be, I don't know if it's still the case, that the number one divorce years were after year 2 and after year 26. After year 2, because people didn't realize that you get married in a 1 hour ceremony. Getting married is every day, and they didn't know these phases were there. So that's a thing. And the second thing is, the year 26, which is we didn't do the work to get through the phases. We just coexisted for the sake of the children. And once the children are gone, we're out of here. So I know I went through those very fast. Go back and watch it. Watch Tuesday from last week. I think that'll bless you. Then we have a question about, as life attacks and paths grow narrows, how do you remain in intimacy? Connie and I bond over the shared problem. We hate it. Even the strife we have between us, the marital strife or sexual strife or financial strife, we have learned to bond in the hating of it, because we realize that the challenge is not us, that what I did wrong, she's learned to hate it with me as much as I hate what I did. What she did wrong, I've learned to hate it with her. She hates that it's there. I hate that it's there. And we bond in our hatred of it, because what we realized is it doesn't matter who put the hole in the boat. If the boat is sinking, we both need to grab a bucket. And so, believe it or not, in our joint hatred of it, and that doesn't mean we don't get mad at each other or fuss at each other or huff at each other, but we are dedicated repairers. And when we sense that we're not us, when we're sense that, and we always say this, I just want to be us. I just want to have you. I don't want to lose us. I don't want to feel distant. As a matter of fact, the non-intimacy, I think, is a greater enemy to us than the problem itself. Mm-hmm. I would say that the problem or the breach or the shortfall or the shortcoming, that's out here. The resultant distance,
I hate it.
We are more committed to preserving the proximity than we are to the problem, and so. We never argue without reminding ourselves before, during, and after. We're still us. I'm upset about X, Y, and Z. You did A, B, and C. My heart is broken here. There's anger, there's outbursts, there's tears, there's whatever. But we're still us. We're still okay. There will be an us on the other side of this, even when there were times where we were doubting there might be an us. It was very short-lived, because we were like, because to us, the intimacy is the juice. The usness is the juice. I don't know if you have anything on that.
No. Here. I know we haven't blessed each other, but I can get a kiss.
You don't have your crazy stuff on your lips, do you? Let me take my glasses off. I feel like I can't get close to you.
No, I didn't wear the crazy stuff because I know.
But with my glasses off.
I feel like I'm supposed to wait until after the blessing to kiss, but it's not a wedding ceremony. It's not like I have to wait till
I'm stinky, though.
I'm just saying.
I haven't showered.
Everything you're saying just makes me love you even more.
Father, I speak peace, health, protection, preservation, soundness, abundance, aboveness, deliverance, prosperity, favor, zoe, goodness, shalom. Long life, length of days, and peace. Years of a life worth living, days worth having, and peace. Manifest goodness, the goodness of God, the favor of God, the love of God. Nothing missing, nothing broken. I speak it over you, your womb, the fruit of your womb, your generations up and down, your husband, your marriage, your family, all those connected to you and their families. Satan, you have no liberty in our lives this day or any other day. I curse your plans and plots at the root, every principality, power, rule of the darkness of this world, and all spiritual wickedness in high places. You are bound. I bind every wicked spirit, every demon, every devil behind any man. You have no liberty in our lives or families. Men are disposed to show us favor and bring good. And anyone that attempts to bless us, I bless. Anyone that attempts to curse us or bring anything other than good, other than God's goodness or contrary to God's goodness, I curse what they're doing. I declare it shall not work, it shall not prosper. I declare your mercy on them, Lord. Thank you that we are delivered from the violent man this day and every day, each one of us in our families. We receive the ministry of angels to us and for us. Thank you that you load us with benefits every single day. You show us your salvation. You forgive all our sins. You heal all our diseases. You redeem our lives from destruction. You surround us with loving kindness and tender mercies. You satisfy our mouths with good so that our youth is renewed like the eagles. We live long and strong in our long, satisfying lives, Lord. Father, I thank you for a supernatural day, the fruit of the Spirit, the gifts of the Spirit, All 7 spirits of God rest upon us, and we walk in the spirit of wisdom and revelation, the knowledge of you and of your will. And God, we acknowledge you. We yield every endeavor to you. You lead us and guide us at every crossroads and every intersection, down to the finite, mighty details of life. We roll all our care and all our works over on you. You open doors no man can shut, and shut doors no man can open. Thank you that we abide and abound in the flow. We receive the ministry of angels for us. They keep us in all our ways, lest we dash our feet against a stone, lest we stub our toe. The angel of the Lord encamps around about us, our families, and our properties. God, I thank you for my wife today. I bless her. I bless our children. I bless Pop-Pop. I bless Grandpa Dave. I bless Joe. I bless the dog. Peace on that little puppy. He's going through so much. God, all those who love us, all those who we love, God, all those we carry in our heart daily. We can't mention them by name here, but you know who they are. We hold them up. We hold their situation. We hold their pain. We hold their trial. We hold their ailments. We hold their fears. We hold their strife. We hold it up to you, and we declare light and breakthrough and resolution and peace, revelation and clarity and wisdom. We come against every enemy. We command the harassment. We rebuke it. We say, stop no more. It will not hinder the flow of the goodness of God in their lives. God, we bless you for them today. Thank you for a supernatural day. God, I bless you for this time. I bless you for another day in the land of the living. Yes. In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name,
Amen.
Receive it.
Amen.
Do
me next.
I don't know if I bless you. Thank you. I bless you, and I declare the goodness of God this day in every way, tangible and intangible. May you feel and sense God's love, God's carrying grace, God's goodness, his favor, peace. May your heart be filled with joy this day. May there be a lightness and an ease to your day. May you have a productive day and feel that you've accomplished the things you're trying to accomplish. And I speak health over your physical body. I declare every part made whole, every cell, organ, tissue, every muscle, every joint. May you continue to flourish. May your youth be renewed like the eagles. May you live long and strong well into your old age. May you spend many, many, many days on this earth and have days worth living, active days, fruit-filled days. And I just pray that your heart is at peace today. Anything that concerns you, I declare that is already being just taken care of, that God perfects every great thing, every small thing, every seemingly impossible thing, and every seemingly minute thing. And may you just have a day of God's Zoe, God's favor, a day of ease and peace. And I just declare and thank God that we have turned a corner and we're moving forward.
Yes.
In every way, spirit, soul, and body. We are on the straightaway and moving forward.
Thank you,
Jesus'
Lord.
name.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
I receive it.
Bless you.
I love you.
Okay, there's lots of time for that.
We love you. We bless you. We bless God for you. Make it a great day today. Thank you all. We love you. We gotta go next Tuesday. We won't be here in the morning. We'll be here at night. We'll be sending an email. If you have not got on our email, I don't know how they can do it, but email us your questions. Yes. We're dealing with sex and sexuality next week.
You can send us email us your email at contact.
Yeah, right there.
At michaelandconnie.com. Also, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel because that'll notify you of everything that we're doing.
When we go live, it'll go ding if you hit that little subscribe and the bell. We've kept you too long. Yes. Oh my gosh, an hour and a half, but it's been good. If these are blessing you, consider being a blessing to us. This is ministry. We don't do a Wednesday night Bible study. We do a Tuesday morning impartation. So I love you too. Love you all. Love you, Stephen and Ingrid. Love you, Terry. John Quill, you're just so kind and so gracious to us. All of you are, and just your support. And so just consider. This has been
share.
Man, share
if
you're
this
like,
out. If you're
like, look, these are just weird people. The guy's in a robe. I don't think he showered. But you can feel what we're trying to do here, and you can feel what we're not trying to do. We're not trying to put out some fancy something or other. I guess
it's not fancy.
Unfancy, is it?
You're from the foothills of Kentucky.
That's it.
That's where I married.
That's where I married. Okay, love you. Okay, love you. Bye.
Great Tuesday.
Make it great. We'll see you next Tuesday. I'll see you Sunday at church, and then the rest of you I'll see next Tuesday night.
After dark.
Kinky for Christ. All right, bye. Bless you.